Coach, you're able to offer an update on Thomas.
Yeah, unavailable for tonight. Had some discomfort yesterday, so we sent him for an MRI. We're waiting results, but is unavailable to us tonight. Well, I think we'll know more as the day goes on.
Ridley Gregg good to go?
Ridley will be in, yep.
What does he do immediately for your center depth?
Well, he can penalty kill. He can play against good top players. He can also contribute offensively. I mean, he helps in all areas. And also he can, whoever he's played with, and him and Joe have played together, whoever's played with them has played well as well. And I think he's a hard player that doesn't give you an inch, and really competitive. So, but we got to be careful. He's coming back after a long time off. He's a young guy, but Ridley's going to be a real good player.
You mentioned yesterday that he has something that you have been lacking, something that you've been missing. Is it that grit?
Yeah, it's that just competitive edge where, he's right on that fine line, but he goes inside, and he's willing to block shots. He's willing to do things that not every player, wants to do. And, when you're playing against him. He finishes checks. If the puck's loose, he's going there hard. He's the kind of player a lot of coaches want to have.
What you like about that duo? So Joseph and Ridley Gregg playing together. What makes them click? I
think they just make the game simple. They don't, turn a ton of pucks over. When you have it, they're constantly hounding you. They can make good on their opportunities, but they play very detailed and create everything off of a counterpunching kind of system. But obviously they play well together.
The Rangers have a very solid, experienced line of center. Who's going to be matched up against Zibanejad and Trocheck tonight?
Well, obviously it'll be face-off positioning right now with Casti out. We don't have a ton of right draw guys, so if the draw is on the left in our zone, Giroux will be out there a lot with the Norris line. We'll look for them to go head-to-head. But, if it's the offensive zone, it could be, any one of the groups. But again, I think a lot of it comes down to, where the face-off is, and who's going good against who. But I think Josh embraced that the other night a lot, playing against Berniers. And I look, that line's a big, heavy line that I think can play against anybody.
How do you have your selection for your goalie? What do you base your decision on for a game like tonight?
Well, I think you got to look at everything, and that's why we got a goalie coach, and you got to allow him to do his job. And right now we're looking for someone to get hot, someone to just give us some consistency every night. There's a lot of games. Both goalies are going to play. So whether it's tonight or the next game, both goalies are going to play. We're going to need them both.
Tonight is the 20-game mark. Does it kind of feel like it's taken you a while to get here?
Well, for sure. I think we're 6 or 7 games behind a lot of teams, mostly 5. So, but that'll be made up quick. So, I think we're coming off 2 good games. We didn't get the result in Columbus, but I like the way our last 6 periods, outside of a few mistakes here and there, we're not giving up a whole lot, and we got to continue to do that. We're also not taking a lot of penalties, and we got to continue on with that discipline.
Just on Chabot, is that, one step forward, one step?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He breaks the puck out so well, and he does so many things well. Our ozone time had really crept its way up, but there's nothing you can do about it. You just gotta, at the end of the day, if you don't give up a ton, you got a chance to win every night, regardless of your lineup. So, yeah, it hurts, but what can you do? And you have to have the next guy up mentality, and everyone's got to give 10% more back there, and continue playing the same way that we played last game.
Did momentum allow him to finish that game, I guess, or
I've said openly that he's as tough a player as I coached, and I think when people say tough, you think about fighting, whatever. He plays through. This is the second injury he's had. I think this year we played through the game, and then eventually they have to pull you out. So, yeah, he's a tough kid. He wants to help this team win. It's unfortunate.
Which part of Chabot's game do you guys miss the most when he's out?
Probably breaking the puck out. He can skate us out of trouble. He can pop pucks. And then obviously the ozone. Our ozone time is up significantly when he plays. But, we're going to need, I think there's a good chance for Branny. Branny's playing with Zub. I think Branny, his game has been very good. And a guy like Branny's going to get an opportunity. And I think that's why you have guys like him around here, is for injuries like this. You got a skating guy, a guy that can do a few of these things. We look for him to crank his game up.
So the team with the top record in the National Hockey League in town here, and obviously you want to carry over what you guys did right against Seattle.
Yeah, exactly. It's that's the game plan. We know they're a good team. They're really deep up front. Their D can skate, and they got a world-class goalie. So it's going to be a good test for us. I mean, they've been good at home. They've been good on the road. So we got to be ready to start on time.
It doesn't get any easier for this hockey club in this locker room without Thomas Chabot again tonight here. Is it just next man up mentality?
Yeah, I mean, it's you don't replace a guy like Shabby both on and off the ice. I mean, he's a huge voice in this locker room, and a really important piece for our group when he's on the ice. So you don't replace a guy like that, and hopefully he's back right away. But as a group, you kind of just have to. Everyone has to pull a little bit tighter on the rope and try to pick up the slack. But you don't replace a guy like that when he's out.
With that in mind, can the theory of less is more apply?
Yeah, I think especially in a group against a game with a group like that, or in a game with a group like that on the other side, with how skilled they are and the speed that they possess, and kind of the game that they really want to play. You might be able to create more by just really keeping it simple, throwing pucks on net from the point or from the walls, or trying to cycle down low for our forwards. So yeah, sometimes less is more, and maybe you can create more from that as well.
You have to heal before Thomas though. I mean, just
Yeah.
came back from injury.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to be out whatsoever. He'd missed some time with his injury, and then obviously not playing again tonight. So he battles hard. He's as strong as anyone I know, and he plays through a lot. So he's an important player for our group. So when he's back on the ice, we're gonna be really excited about it.
How important has cohesion and camaraderie, just working together, been for the blue line this year? With how many different pairings there have been?
Yeah.
How many injuries?
Yeah, you know what, I think we're a really close team, and in particular, a really close defensive core. Away from the rink, you see us with each other a lot. We're really good friends back there, so I think that bodes well for us when we're on the ice, when we are mix matching pairings, and some guys are coming in and coming out, and I think the communication factor between all of us is really good, and quite frankly, that's an important part of the game, whether you have the same partner every night or if you got a new guy coming beside you. So we all feel like we can play with each other, and we got some good depth back there, and it leaves for some good inter-competition as well.